What's going on, guys? My name is KarQ, and today we have the second Overwatch 2 beta live now from June 28th till July 20th. This video will have balance changes specifically from this second beta compared to the first beta from 2 months ago. I'll also show comparisons to Overwatch 1 where possible, but I recommend watching my full every hero change video if this is your first time playing the beta, because that video showed the Overwatch 1 comparisons for all the initial changes and reworks like Doomfist and Orisa. Alright, to get us started, we first have the support role passive, in which the time to activate the healing has increased from 1 to 1.5 seconds, a minor nerf. However, the damage role passive has been completely reworked, where swapping to other damage heroes now maintains up to 30% of your new hero's ultimate charge. The old passive with 10% speed boost has been removed, and heroes that previously had their bonus movement speed have regained that bonus, meaning Genji and Tracer are now exclusively faster than every other hero once again. For D.Va, her mech armor has increased from 200 to 300, but her mech health has decreased from 450 to 350. Overall, her HP pool is the same at 650, but a better ratio of armor to health is a very strong buff. For Doomfist, his Seismic Slam no longer slows enemies, and his power block damage reduction has been reduced from 90% to 80%. Junkrat Queen is the newest addition to the Overwatch roster as a tank. First, her primary fire is called Scattergun, which is a pump action shotgun. Her secondary fire is called Jagged Blade. You can throw the blade, and if it connects on a target, you can reactivate it to pull it back and pull the enemy along with it. If you miss, you can still recall the blade and wound any enemies along the blade's path. Her passive is called Adrenaline Rush, which allows her to heal from all damage over time dealt by the wound effect. Next, she has an ability called Commanding Shout, which is like a battle cry and temporarily increases health and movement speed for herself and nearby allies. Carnage is her ability where she swings a big axe and wounds all enemies in front of her. And finally, her ultimate is called Rampage, in which she channels and charges forward, dealing a lot of damage along the path and wounds all enemies. It also applies the anti-healing effect. The Orisa rework was a success in the first beta, but she hasn't seen any playtime at all in the Overwatch League, which may be the reason why she's getting a gigantic balance patch here. First, her augmented fusion driver damage has increased from 10 to 12, which is a huge 20% DPS buff. Critical damage bonuses increased from 50% to 100%, meaning the headshots deal the normal 2 times damage that almost every other hero in the game also has. That's a massive buff in that category. However, they're compensating this by changing the projectile size. It no longer scales with distance, which is actually a buff because previously it started off big and shrunk to a smaller size the further it travels. However, the overall size has been reduced from 0.3 to 0.1. Damage fall off at maximum range has been reduced from 70% to 50%. That's a buff. That means, for example, the 12 damage, instead of doing 3.6 damage, which is 70% reduction, it can now deal 6 damage at max range. However, the maximum fall off range has been reduced from 15 to 35 meters to 15 to 25 meters. For Fortify, the 20% movement speed penalty has been removed, so that's a buff so she can run a lot quicker. However, the headshot immunity has been removed, which is a massive nerf. The Javelin spin cooldown has been decreased from 10 to 7 seconds, with the knockback increasing as well. Those are 2 welcomed buffs. However, her overall speed boost has been reduced from 65% to 40%, so she's a little slower while using it. The Energy Javelin Throw is probably everyone's favorite Orisa ability. However, it received 2 nerfs, with the impact damage being reduced from 80 to 60 and the cooldown increasing from 6.5 to 8 seconds. Finally, for her ultimate, the Terra Surge max damage has actually increased from 275 to 500. That's actually a really big buff at first glance. However, when you read the fine print, the damage begins to ramp to this rate only after the old 200 damage timing. So obviously, if you sit in the whole entire thing, obviously it'll take full damage, but most people should be able to escape, or the Orisa will let go of it early. Reinhardt's armor has been reduced from 350 to 300, with his health increasing from 300 to only 325. The overall HP distribution is a net loss from 650 to 625. For Winston, his barrier projector health has been reduced from 800 to 700, and his Primal Rage ultimate cost has been increased by 10%. 2 nerfs to Winston. Or Bastion, his tactical grenade cooldown has been reduced from 10 seconds to 8 seconds, a minor buff. For Cassidy, his combat roll now grants 50% damage reduction for its 0.4 second duration. That means if you time the roll to, let's say, a Tracer Pulse Bomb, you can effectively survive it because you have that 375 damage. For Junkrat, his Steel Trap now fully locks movement again like you're used to in Overwatch 1. In the Overwatch 2 first beta, they nerfed it where like you could actually kind of slowly walk out of it, but they just brought it back here. And they also increased the projectile speed from 10 to 15, so it goes out a lot quicker. Junkrat's Frag Launcher projectile size has also slightly increased from 0.2 to 0.25. For Pharah, her rocket launcher reload now starts 0.25 seconds sooner when out of ammo, and her concussive blast now deals 30 damage and deals additional knockback on direct hits. Symmetra received a ginormous rebalance. First, her photon projector primary fire maximum ammo has increased from 70 to 100. However, it no longer generates ammo when damaging barriers. The secondary fire projectile speed has been increased from 25 to 50. That's effectively 2 times the speed. The max damage, however, has been reduced from 120 to 90, a 45 damage impact and 45 damage explosion. The max charge projectile size is a little bit smaller at 0.4. The charge time has been increased from 1 to 1.2 seconds, so a little longer there. And the ammo cost has been increased from 7 to 10. However, that's actually scaled to the ammo buff earlier from 70 to 100, so that's actually a neutral change. For her teleporter, the build time is 2 times faster now because the time to build has been reduced from 2 to 1 second. However, it now has a lifetime of 10 seconds. Its cooldown increased from 10 to 16 seconds, the cooldown starts when the teleporter is placed, and its health has been reduced from 300 to 200, with 50 health and 150 shields. This tells me Blizzard wants to promote a playstyle that forces her to use that teleporter in combat, maybe set up some sentry traps with that fast build time rather than leaving the teleporter in spawn. For sentry turrets, travel speed have been increased from 15 to 20, so they go up a bit quicker. However, the movement speed reduction on targets has been reduced from 20% to 15% per turret. For Torbjorn, his Rivet Gun primary fire recovery has been reduced from 0.6 to 0.55 seconds, and his secondary fire recovery has been reduced from 0.8 to 0.7 seconds. This is just a fancy way of saying he has a faster fire rate now. Alright, for supports, we have Mercy, and if there's any community you never want to piss off, it's the Mercy community. So let's take a look at the Guardian Angel now. It can no longer be cancelled using crouch for the big vertical boost, aka the old super jump. However, it now automatically launches a player upward if they reach the end of their GA. This is basically a automatic super jump. It's kind of like weird inverse controls from what you're used to. Her passive, Angelic Descent, now has an additional metric where she can slow the ascent speed if held, not just the descent speed. This basically means you can dampen your vertical knockbacks, like being hit by Junkrat's concussive, but at the same time, you can now reduce that automatic super jump height that it gives you. A little weird, but don't knock it till you try it. Finally, for Zenyatta, his Orb of Discord time to fall off the target when not in line of sight has been reduced from 3 to 2 seconds, a minor nerf. And that's it for all the changes for this patch. Be sure to come to my stream at twitch.tv/KarQ. I'll be on almost daily this entire beta wave. Catch you there. See you next time.